Okay, all right, let's do it. Let's talk about it. This weekend, what was happening? Well, Trump was getting booed and screamed at a Commanders football game, and the shutdown deal happened. And you've probably seen a lot of this, but you haven't heard it from me, so stick around as we go through the details of this. Trump went to a Commanders game. I saw someone say, as a Commanders fan, I was watching and thought the game couldn't possibly get worse, and then Trump showed up on screen. Ooh. Here was him. Crowd didn't like it. Lots of screaming, lots of booing, flipping off, etc.
Welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, as the President swears in the seats of our United States military.
Okay, then you have this.
So help me God. Congratulations.
Okay, so
I thought he was about to sing the national anthem. I was excited.
Oh, say, can you see? I'd love to hear him sing. You have this. Look at this. Everyone loves Trump. Then one other shot. Just soak it up. Whatever. The only thing that could unite the Lions fans and the Commanders fans. Isn't that beautiful? Is there something beautiful about that? Is there opposition to Trump? Now, every time he goes to a sports game and gets booed, people post this. This is so funny to me. They post this clip of Obama just doing the charisma that he does, you know? Say what you will about Obama. No one waves at a game like he does. Or walks down Air Force One stairs. Even Trump admitted that. You remember? He's like, Obama will go pop, 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 pop down the stairs.
Very special guest, former President.
Oh, yeah. I love that. They'll sort of like, wait, me? Who me? Is this about me? I mean, I guess. Okay. So, as that was happening, we were getting news that some Democrats caved. Now, we've been getting emails into the show and people discussing who are impacted by the shutdown, just how bad it's getting. And so I really want us to get out of it, and we are about to. And when I lay out what it is that Democrats agreed to, it feels like it begs the question, what was this for then? Why were you not voting to fund the government before if you're just going to hand everything over to Republicans now? What were all those days for? So we'll get to that, but a big part of the plan, I'll explain now, is so the ACA subsidies was a big sticking point. We want to get an extension of the ACA subsidies so that premiums don't spike. And other demands, but that became the central one that was like, we'll do it if you can give us this. So what did Democrats get? 8 Democrats. They got a pinky swear, but a very strong pinky swear. Now, I've recently had experience with some pinky swears. We've talked about on the bonus show, some personal stuff. And people don't keep the pinky swears, okay? That's what I've learned. So Democrats should have taken notes from my life. John Fetterman, these are the Democrats. Angus King, Catherine Cortez Masto, Jackie Rosen, Dick Durbin, Jean Shaheen, Maggie Hassan, Tim Kaine. These are some cool names, though. Angus King and Jean Shaheen. Now that's clean. Okay, so they move forward this resolution. It'll most likely get through, and then the House, and then Trump will sign it. And what's the promise? In return, Democrats have been promised a December floor vote on extending the expiring Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, though it's not guaranteed to pass. Well, we will give you a vote probably in December, maybe. And will it pass? Who knows? So then what was all of this for? Seems pretty ludicrous in my estimation. So then you have to wonder, if the Senate is guaranteeing, why wouldn't they do the vote? Why wouldn't it be in the thing? You could pass it right then and there as a part of the funding. Okay, unbelievable. But we don't even know if similar commitments have been made in the House, but the House doesn't need any Democrats. It was only the Senate that needed Democratic votes. And they didn't even get Mike Johnson to confirm that it would get passed on the House. So passing on the Senate does nothing if it's not passed in the House. And we don't even know if it passes the Senate. Look at Mike Johnson got asked about this. Watch his reaction.
Going to get a lot of my own questions answered later today, so stay tuned for more. Thanks so much.
Would you bring the APA bill to the House floor if it passes?
Walked away. What was this reporter saying at the end?
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't take any questions at his press conference. Not much conferencing with the press at the press conference. So he's not even committing. And just a few days ago, he said this.
He's offered them a vote. You know what they told him in response? No, we need you to guarantee the outcome of that vote. Well, that's ridiculous. That can't be done.
House suspension from the Senate, will you assure the House members that they'll get a vote, House Democrats, that they'll get a vote on ACA subsidies by a date certain?
No, because we did our job, and I'm not part of the negotiation. The House did its job on September 19th.
He said, no, we won't guarantee a vote. We won't guarantee the outcome of the vote. So we won't just agree to passing the ACA subsidies. We definitely won't roll back our Medicaid cuts. So all the stuff that Democrats were fighting for. And we won't even guarantee that we'll give them a vote in the House to at least put Republicans on the record voting for spikes in premiums. Then look at this, Manu Raju going up to Mike Johnson. While you watch it, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. All it takes is a click, but it means a lot to us and getting the word out about this show.
Can you guarantee whatever the bill passes that Senate on ACA, you'll give it a vote in the House?
Look, we're going to do in the House what we always do, and that is a deliberative process. I mean, we get find consensus on whatever the proposal is. As you know.
So he's just saying, well, we can't guarantee anything. Ezra Klein even wrote a piece, What Were Democrats Thinking? You have a top Senate Democrat, I think this was Dick Durbin. Cool name too, but bad choice here, Dick. Acknowledging that the deal to end the shutdown relies on GOP leader keeping his word. Okay, so let me just remind you, yesterday I illustrated this point by saying that Jaden and I had more reason to trust a thief who had stolen something off of our doorstep. We chased him down. He said, I put the stuff over in an alleyway over there. I'll go get it and y'all just stay here. Left and didn't come back. Obviously, we were being very naive and we didn't get the stuff back. And I still think that guy was more trustworthy than the Republicans are. So why we're taking their word on this, I don't know. Let me use a different example. This is something I've told maybe on the bonus show. I don't know if I've ever shared it to everyone else. I got scammed by a fake baby mama. All right, this is Luke, a few minutes in the future. And just prepare yourself because for the next few minutes, I'm going to keep saying baby mama in this story instead of sugar mama, fake sugar mama, which is what I meant to say. And it sounds like I'm saying something very different. I do not mean baby mama. I mean sugar mama. Let's go. I did. It's true. When I was younger, much younger, just a kid, and I was living in LA. I needed money. Someone reached out. They said, hey, I want to be your baby mama. And I said, no, of course not. My body is not for sale. Okay. How much? No. I said, my body's not for sale. And this person, probably someone in a different country who was not a woman, said, well, I just want to talk. I'll just pay you to talk with me. And I was like, well, that's a good deal. Send me the check. They sent me the check. Then they asked me to send them money in Venmo. And I realized the scam was that the check was going to bounce or was not even real. And I would think it would be temporarily put in the account while they're verifying it. Then I send them the money where they're like, I just need you to send me over Venmo because my thing's broken, blah, blah, blah. And luckily I didn't get that far. Once they were asking me to Venmo, I said no, very bravely and triumphantly. But I had more trust in that fake baby mama. Again, fake. The scheme was never to need my love. That was the worst part. It was just to get me to Venmo them with a fake check. And I had more trust, and I stand by having more trust in that person than we should have in Republicans. Does that make sense? I think that hopefully that cleared some things up than this. This is one of the senators who voted for it.
Thank you. Yep.
You say you're fighting on the Affordable Care Act. What do you say to your colleagues who say this isn't a fight, this is a capitulation? You're putting together, you're agreeing to a vote on a bill that it almost certainly will not become law, and you're allowing that to happen.
Well, first of all, there was, as long as the government shut down, the clear statement from Senator Thune and the Republican majority, and they control the Senate, the House, the White House, was we will not talk about health care with you. So there was no vote that we were going to get on the Affordable Care Act, premium tax credits. We have a guaranteed vote by a guaranteed date on a bill that we will write. Not that the Republicans will write, although I do think it's important for us to engage with.
Now, some people are, you know how it is. Everyone has a reason to not like me because normally I don't get as extreme or outraged as others. And it's more titillating for people to say, rah, 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 right? So I actually sympathize, I really do, with the urgency. People, again, have been just telling us, just in our audience, their horror stories. And when it becomes real pain that's being inflicted on Americans, I see the urgency. And it's hard not to feel completely failed when the whole thing here that you were previously saying you were fighting for was to actually get the extension and get some healthcare progress. You didn't. You got to vote. So I don't know. I guess I'd rather you just say, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and trust the fake baby mama from Pakistan. We're just gonna go ahead and I wish you would just say, "Hey, we're folding. We're done. We don't want to do the fight." Because there's been a lot of framing like, "No, but this, oh, we did it. We won." No, the vote's gonna fail. And even if it didn't, the House is not gonna. Mike Johnson's probably not gonna bring that up for a vote. Angus King. What you got for us, Angus?
Well, Joe, you have to go back to what the strategy was at the beginning of the shutdown. There were two goals, both of which I support. One was standing up to Donald Trump. The other was getting some resolution on the ACA premium tax credit issue.
Have I been saying baby mama? Why would you not help me? Oh. What is happening? Sugar mama. It's not my baby mama. I don't have any baby mamas.
I didn't even realize. That's so funny.
Sugar mama. The point is they scammed me saying they were going to give me money to talk to them, be their friend. I needed money a lot. I didn't have a show back then. Not baby. We're going to have to do something. We're going to have to do something editing wise to clear that up. Well, I hope you all had fun at my ignorance, my lapse. This is your fault, Angus. I blame you. It was you were probably behind that Snapchat account.
Well, Joe, you have to go back to what the strategy was at the beginning of the shutdown. There were two goals, both of which I support. One was standing up to Donald Trump. The other was getting some resolution on the ACA premium tax credit issue. The problem was the shutdown wasn't accomplishing either goals, and there was there was zero likelihood that it was going to. In terms of standing up to Donald Trump, the shutdown actually gave him more power. Exhibit A being what he's done with SNAP and SNAP benefits across the country. Oh, by the way, Joe, you're going to love this. Guess who's getting paid during the shutdown? Not the park rangers or air.
No, we know the shutdown's bad. We want it to end very, very badly, especially going into the holidays. It just is confusing. You got nothing. So then what were you doing in the first place? This is a deal that could have been made before the government shut down. So it's a capitulation, but also after a lot of suffering already happened. Chuck Schumer, he voted against it, to be clear, but also he's the Senate minority leader, so he's supposed to keep his caucus in check. So people are blaming him to the point where he posts a video saying, I'm voting no. And it has 6,000 likes, but 16,000 comments. Oh. And so a lot of people are calling for Chuck to chuck off, you know? And you got Bernie criticizing this in this video. You have Chris Murphy criticizing this. You have Newsom criticizing it. Let's watch this one.
I worry now, though. Sounds like some of my colleagues and friends in the United States Senate, some of my Democratic colleagues just decided that we're playing by the old set of rules, not the new set of rules, and may have rolled over a little bit. So I love your question. It's the right question. I want to be part of that answer as an American citizen, not as a governor, as the ex-governor of California. But right now, we've got to hold the line because I think America will become unrecognizable in a year or two unless we fight back.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where that sits. The shutdown, positive news that it's going to be over, but nothing was accomplished. And that is heartbreaking. Sugar mama. Sugar mama. Not baby mama, sugar mama. Fake sugar mama. I was a kid. Do you understand? I was a kid. You're laughing. Oh, I was a child. Maybe I was 19, but still, I was young, is the point. I was a teen. Just trying to LAX, another dream is how man. Hey, the Miley Cyrus song. I was trying to live the LA dream. I was singing my songs. I had my suitcase. Needed Chipotle. And how do you get money for Chipotle? You almost fall for a scam from a baby mama. Okay. Sounds like, take that down. Sounds like I was saying I have a bunch of baby mamas that were scamming me. Oh, it's too good. This is, where else can you find it, ladies and gentlemen, than right here? Okay, now we can move on.